for the burbs, for the block, for the pure props. Do it every day, I work hard at the first shot. I don't really give a damn what the purse got. Do it for the game, for the name is the first thought. You ain't experienced a similar hustle. I simply muscle into infamy with intricate tunnels. I work the underground like miners, but I major the muzzle to shut them up, shut them down, then I give them a shuttle, okay? See, this is every day of using heavyweight in music, educating through it. Even legends thank me to its motivation. That's why there's no delay and no vacations. I don't need another reason. I'ma lead, I'm going apeshit. Oh, delay, kid. Moment goes to waste if no one takes it. But it's hard to be a pro when y'all in training mode to make it. I'll note the notifications and make the most of my greatness for the culture in the place I call home if no one thinks it.
I step in the spot and the bitches show me love. I do it for the block, do it for the club. Fuck your ice grill, foolish with the mug. Dirt off my shoulder, I do it with a shrug. Brush them off so easy, cakewalk. Cats be catching rounds when I be letting strays off. Big bills, your stash small like Adolf. We don't let you pussy slide, pink slip, laid off, A-dog. Listen up when I'm speaking. Swinging through your town, but it's just for the weekend. You punch drunk, and we don't fuck with you weaklings. In over your head, now you stuck in the deep end. We bet. Better than your best bet. Stack chips, bigger than your next check. Duck hunt, I kill your birds. Deathbed, run up in your crib, cracking all your fucking nest eggs.
We do it for the block, we do it for the love. We just don't stop, we do it for the game. We do it for the props, we do it every day and it just don't stop. We do it for the birds, we do it for the block. We do it for the love, we just don't stop. We do it for the game, we do it for the props. We do it every day and it just don't stop.
I do it for the block and I do it for the burbs. Either at the local park or find me smoking on the curb. I'm a product of both of those. Spit sick, man, you know it's cold. Contagious is what Kane is. Now you need to go blow your nose. You rappers get ate, dog. Call it a cakewalk. My lyrics rare, yeah, well done. They need steak sauce. I do it for the game and I do it for the props. All the respect that I earn it for the love of hip hop. When it comes to that, I got the shit in the bag. I guess that's a big plus, like the Switzerland flag. And I do it for the haters too, man. I ain't mad at you, just get crossed out like weekdays on the calendar. Just like Slick Rick, one hell of a grip. I'm a motherfucking ruler, no measuring tape. And dummy, you goofy, it's so funny. Something like Will Ferrell, except you're nobody.
It's the everyday grind of everyday mind. Defending my title with these heavyweight rhymes. Sever they spine with the next snapping beats. Shit, my time's now, you got next after me. Ain't nothing like a crowd finishing your words. Screaming it out loud from the bricks into the burbs. Sipping on the bourbon, twisting up the herb. Even straight edges popping if your vision isn't blurred. Let them do the hate. You set up fools to break, fuck that. I'll show you all the better moves to make. See, the radio led the youth astray. Now they send my music help to get them through the day, and that's real. Business you can stand on. Guess it is what it is, like Cameron. I ain't finished it till the fam's on. Generational wealth when the glitz and the glam gone.
We do it for the block, we do it for the love. We just don't stop, we do it for the game. We do it for the props, we do it every day and it just don't stop. We do it for the birds, we do it for the block. We do it for the love, we just don't stop. We do it for the game, we do it for the props. We do it every day and it just don't stop.
I do it cause I have to, I'm in violent pursuit. I said I'll do it to the death because I'm better than you. How you trying to ride a wave when you don't know how to surf? You moving terrible fashion, ending up on a shirt. I ain't never been nothing to play with.
Oh shit. I don't know if I unmuted it. So let me start that again. 'Cause I don't know why, but I hit the unmute button and it didn't look like it unmuted
Go ahead.
anything. And I know it was definitely picking up some sound before. So but in case you guys didn't hear, welcome everybody. What's up? What I was saying was this is Mr. Andre Parker, aka Acezero. We go back to the PCG Live days with Kyle. That's all you guys really miss. It was just us reminiscing. So it's been about 5 years since the last time you've seen us together. So thank you guys all for joining. Today we are going to go over the Summer Game Fest. So if you haven't been already following along with me for this week, I've been covering it already. In the beginning of the week, Monday, did I stream Monday? Yeah, I think I did stream Monday. It might have been Tuesday, actually. Tuesday, I think I might have been my first stream. Because nope. Yeah, so Tuesday I did it with Josh. Wednesday, which was yesterday,
Tuesday, yeah.
I did it with Sesame Sheep, and then today I'm doing it with Andre. So me and Josh didn't get through the whole opening
Yeah.
presentation, so me and you are going to end up going through the rest of the presentation today, and then we're going to kind of go over the thoughts and stuff. So they haven't heard my thoughts yet about the whole presentation, only because I was trying to save it to the end. But let's do this. Let's start off with how we feel, how we felt, so that way you can get some things off your chest. You guys are going to continuously probably see Andre's video go in and out, but his audio is here. So if you see him frozen, you don't see a camera, don't mind it. Just ignore it. As long as his audio is working, we're in a happy place. So, but okay, Andre, what do you got? So there's some things that you want to express specifically about the event. So I don't know how you want to handle that. So did you have an idea of how you wanted to go about talking about this?
Do it without getting crazy.
Mm-hmm.
My audio is great, right? So I don't have to worry about the audio.
It's being a little choppy right now. It just started being choppy, but
Me and Van talked, and Kyle. With all of a sudden, hold on, see. Yeah, everything's the same. I don't once again, I don't know what's going on.
I think it's working.
Bro, I'm
now.
just sitting still at this point. So I don't know.
It's so funny because every time we get Andre on, every single time, there's always crazy problems.
Van, I swear.
Is it choppy for you? Like, am I coming out choppy?
Like, it could be because I'm in the Iron Man cave right now. It can be because there's a body in the freezer, but it's something.
Do me a favor. Shut your camera off. Just shut your camera off.
A little bit. A little bit. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I have no idea. Do I still sound good?
You sound better now. I think there's like a little bit of a delay too, so. Yeah, I think it might be still choppy. Which was funny because right before we started, everything was fine. Now I don't hear you at all. So if you're talking, I can't hear you. I see green around your thing, which identifies you're talking, but
That's what I just did.
What is it?
Camera's off.
Yep. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, I think it might be your internet. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, he left, but he's coming back. He left, but he's coming back. Better?
Can you hear me, Vin?
I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, so I'm through the app right now. I
Okay.
just want to see if it works better through
It
the app, maybe.
it will definitely work better through the app opposed to the browser. I didn't realize you installed the app too. So it will be better. I do realize that the mic is a different mic this time. It does sound a little different.
Does it sound better or worse?
Now it sounds better. Did you just change it again?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
yeah. Now I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you crisp now. I can hear you perfect. So
Okay.
yeah, so we're good
So
now. We're good now. See, that only took like 5 minutes, so we're good.
it's just
It's
it's like,
technology,
bro,
man. It's technology.
you always tell me, Van, that one thing we can never rely on is technology, and
Yep.
and it's a great thing, but it's also one of the worst things ever. And oh my God, and like you were saying earlier, every single time we do a show, this happens.
Yep. Yep.
Every time. Well, instead of wasting time, we get right into it. Okay, so we were talking about how I felt about Game Fest,
Yep.
and you and your guy the other day did elaborate on some stuff, and I'm glad you understood where I was going with it. But this is what I want to say. You had a great point about gaming now. Yes, Devil May Cry. I can go through a trillion games that have the art style of Elden Ring, but unfortunately, Van, we got to remember everything in this world in this era is pop. It's poppy. It's like whatever the trend is. What is it that people feel the most? What is it that people love the most? And Elden Ring happened to be the hype circle, right? So we know about Devil May Cry, we know about Ninja Gaiden, but the new age doesn't. So what happens is that I feel like what gaming does is it goes with whatever the trend is at the moment. And that's not to say that um it's always 100%. Whatever that trend is, we're going to make a game off of because I'm sure they've been making these games probably before Elden Ring came out.
Hmm.
But what happens is as you get used to seeing that style, just like a game called Hawk came out, right? It had the same graphical style of Fortnite, but it was a completely different game. But it was a battle royale.
Did you
Realm
say
Royale came,
did you say Hawk?
Hawk, yeah, Hawked.
Hmm. It sounds
Yeah, if you
familiar.
look it up, you'll literally say it's Fortnite,
Mm-hmm.
not because of the gameplay and stuff, just because of the animation. So Hawk comes out, Dauntless comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well, Dauntless wasn't
um,
like Fortnite though. Dauntless was more like it
no,
was
it wasn't.
Monster
No,
Hunter.
that's why. Yeah, that's what I mean. But this is what I mean by the art style. Like,
Kyle saying hi. Kyle's in the chat.
what's going on, KZ? You already
Mm-hmm.
know what's up, my brother. Ooh, Kai. When you coming back, brother? We need you, man. But look, so what I mean by art style is when you see something that's a trend for a long time and it's popular, it didn't used to be like this. Like, Vin, think of us growing up. When you had a 64, when you had a PS2, PS3, the games always was so diverse and so different looking. It was really along the lines of, dang, I got a taste and I can try out different styles.
Mm-hmm.
Now it seems like when you see these enemies, um, you described it already. You get these faceless, shoulder missing, leg decapitated type monsters, which I'm okay with that, right?
So
Um,
Josh just clarified something to me. And I never even
mhm,
knew this had a name. So that has a name and it's called body horror. And he kept saying it on Tuesday and I was just like, so and that's a thing. Like they call it horror,
uh-huh,
and what that represents is it's deformity body parts. You know what I mean? So it's something like a bunch of arms, or instead of having fingers, they have toes instead of fingers. You know what I
uh-huh,
mean? Or
uh-huh.
arms instead of fingers. So it's like they call it body horror because it's taking
That
the
makes
human
sense.
body and deforming it. So and you see, like you said, you see it everywhere. It's
Yeah, yeah.
everywhere, everywhere.
It's just along the lines of like, so when I watched it, like I said, I watched this thing like 4 or 5 times. Um, One thing I will say overall about the Game Fest is the way that everything was presented was the best I've seen him do. I don't think there was a break for us to breathe. You and Jay talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
You can barely go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
It was game after game after game. I love the presentation. There was no conversation. There was no talking. I do like when the developers can talk a little
I
bit
was gonna
sometimes,
say
but
I do like that. There was a point. There
yeah,
was one E3 they did. Man, it just like remember we said we were like, have they showed a game yet? Like it was insane. But like I respect it and I understand it because I think that's important. I think what happened during like the beginning phases of E3 was we were losing ourselves to who was actually making the game, and now a lot of these developers are like, hey, we want to be recognized. Like we put a lot of work because it's not like they're
yeah,
making Mario games anymore. I mean, when I say Mario,
yeah,
like 2D flat platform Mario. Like these
yeah,
games are taking years and in more than 8 hour shifts and more than
yeah,
5 days a week, work weeks. Like so, this stuff is taking a long time. So a lot of these developers are like, hey, we would love to be able to get some love here instead of just the publishers. You know what I mean? Because now the
yeah,
studios are getting put in the front. Like you hear Insomniac Games, you know who that is. When you hear Rockstar, you know who that
yeah,
is.
yeah,
And there was the Nintendo time. You didn't know there was Konami. You know what I mean? Like not Konami.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Konami. Yeah, it was Konami, Capcom. And like
You would have Sakurai come out. You have, they always had people come out to explain their game a little bit.
and then that's
Um,
it. And most of the time you didn't even know
yeah,
who they were. You know what I mean? So now we're putting more faces to these, and I feel like that's more so becoming a thing. So I don't mind the behind the scenes. And it gets me excited too, because then it's like a little bit of history into what their vision of the game was. So
hmm
that way if it
hmm
matches. But I do agree, like it was getting too much. I think last year was a perfect thing, but the day of the devs, that does a great job. Wholesome Gaming, that does a great job. So it's just like, okay, I think they're starting to find their mojo with this. And that's why
yeah.
these things are getting better.
I mean, and at the same time, it kind of is a lose-lose for Jeff, no matter what he does. Because what happens is, as gamers, if he gives us too much games, it's oh well, we want to hear from people, and then if he gives us too much people, it's oh we want to see more games. And if you can never win per se with the gaming community. I think it's technically impossible in this point. But overall, like I said, a lot of games coming out. I do like that a lot of them were new. But
Hmm.
I think that as gamers, and you kind of elaborated on this, when you're used to E3, Van, was E3 always perfect? No. But the one thing about it is when we watch things with gaming, we want those big studios to come forward. And sometimes the studios just don't really have nothing to show. Like they don't want to show anything yet because they may not have something on what we want to see. Like I think rumors is what kind of hurt us because when people are hyping up these awards and they're following all the trends and there's breaking news that a leak came out and then you don't see any of that, it kind of hurts. Like, oh well, there's supposed to be a God of War collection. Nobody said that. They never said it.
Hmm.
We believe that it was time to see God of War.
Yeah. And
So
that,
it,
that,
it, it
that
becomes a
kills.
gamer problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that sucks when you hear those type of announcements and stuff like that being done, and it's just like, oh, like what are you doing? Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Like it ruins the event because then that's what people are looking forward to. This event was pretty good because a lot of it, like I think Resident Evil might have gotten leaked. I think I heard something about
Resident Evil been getting leaked for 5 years, man.
but actually I think a portion, only the first part of it, but that no one knew about 9. No one knew
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that. No one knew that was dropping. So that was like a big drop. So that was hype.
That was major. And to end the show, I like how first they showed it and they were like, "Yeah, Resident Evil's coming out." And I know the guy comes out, he's like, "I know you guys want more news,
Hmm.
but as of right now, we don't have nothing. Just stay tuned." And then next, they end the show with an entire trailer and a release date,
Yep.
which was phenomenal to me. I thought that was probably my favorite thing I've seen at the whole event. And I haven't played a Resident Evil in a while, but I thought that was awesome to
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah. So all in all though, so I'm glad we kind of got to talk a little bit about what we were talking about in chat about the
Mhm.
whole Souls-like game and stuff like that. And I kind of went on a tangent talking about I hate when people call it, Souls-like games because these games will exist.
Yeah.
But that is what it is. That's the culture. It is what it is. It's whatever the community says, that's what it becomes, and it becomes from fruition.
Van,
So.
let me say something on that real quick because that's the only thing I didn't talk about.
Mhm.
Souls-like games. So, when you was doing the last show, Jay was talking. I always forget his name. It's Josh, right?
Yep, Josh. Yep.
So Josh was talking about like difficulty in games, and we got to make something very clear with Souls-like and difficulty in games. That's Ninja Gaiden was one of the hardest games ever. Me and Kyle talk about all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But you had a choice in your difficulty. There was easy, normal, hard, Master Ninja, Master Acolyte. You have choices. And me and you talked about this before, Van. I don't mind a difficult game, but I don't want to play an unbeatable game either. Like there's people that can beat it. But Van, when you're a parent and you got 30 kids like we do combined, I don't have the time to focus on one boss for 7 days, Van.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the choice of picking my difficulty. I'm tired of seeing them red health bars, and the moment you run into an enemy, I get hit one time and I die. I want to have fun. I want to challenge, but I want to enjoy it too. And if you have a difficulty setting like we always had growing up, that makes it more fun. You know what I mean? Like it's an experience. So when you hear Souls-like, it's because of how, once again, this is what I meant. The UI that they put on the screen when you're playing, they give you the red health bar, they give you the one-hit enemy, the counter. Sekiro was one of the smoothest, best games I've seen, and it won Game of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
But because I knew I can die in 2 hits, I was like, bro, I can't do this game anymore. Mm-hmm. And I really wanted to beat that game, but there's no option. The only option is get better, sit there and parry for 40 hours, but I don't want to have to parry to beat an enemy all the time. And me and you talked about this. I don't want to have to sit there parrying all day. Sometimes I like Devil May Cry style. I like Ninja Gaiden style where I might get lucky and keep using my special on the guy. Right. I might get lucky and use some ranged weapons, or I might get lucky and do a last minute roll and hit him. But I don't want to have to get lucky parrying every 2 seconds to defeat an enemy.
Right. And so, but this is where I kind of step in and say like, okay, then it's just not your type of game, and that's okay. And that's okay. And now you know that, so you stay away from that genre. We're just in the day and age where we are going to get games in waves by genre, whatever's hot. And that's just where we are. And it's starting to kind of come out of that a little bit. But like you said, the Dark Souls style thing is there. It's doing that. Kyle fucking calling it Bayo style instead of, again, it's not Bayo style. The enemy design is, you could call Bayo style, but the game itself is not Bayo style because it's not fast action. And that's the importance of like understanding that. But that's where we start to fall down a slippery slope because of the fact of what aspect of a game are we going to use to call it the genre game? Because eventually, we can't call these Soul-like games already because the very first game they announced at Summer Game Fest was a Souls-like type game style for the graphics and in the whole scenery and stuff. The theme of it was Souls-like, but very fast action like Devil May Cry. Except you're not doing aerial things, but that could be a part of it.
You talking Mortal Shell 2?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about what Andre likes. Oh, he's just saying, yeah. So, okay, all right. I get what Kyle's saying. So Kyle's saying he's just talking about what you like, the style you like. You like Bayo style like games. That's the fast action stuff. Which
like you know what I mean, Van? Like it's like classic God of War versus new God of War, right?
Yeah.
That to me is how you transition into keeping the fans that love hack and slash attached still. Now, if you prefer the old school hack and slashes to like the new, like if you prefer the old God of War to the new one, no one's going to be mad at that. But one thing you can admit to is that they did the new God of War extremely well. Where you could say I either liked it more or I liked, you know what I mean? But it didn't have to be.
I would say the original God of War was arcade style. This one's more realistic, but still a faster. It's a faster pace than, you know what I mean? Like it's you don't have that like I just feel like I'm hitting buttons and it's just doing things. You don't have that feel on there. At first you do because it's God of War, so you're just like, this is what you gotta do. But you very quickly learn that's a mistake. Don't play the game that way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And that's what I mean. That's why I said when I said the look of Souls like, and you just said the best sentence that been trying to explain to everybody. When you say that we go in the gaming goes in a quick moment of a genre push, and that's more of what I was saying in that. And I know you understood that.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't just the art. It was that out of all those games that we've seen, I love almost how all of them looked. I was like, these look good. These games look good.
Yep.
But then once you see that UI and that health bar, it's like, oh, it's gonna be make one wrong move, you're dead.
Yeah.
You know, like, a perfect example is Wukong is not in Souls-like technically, right? But realistically, I can die in 2 hits.
Yeah.
It's faster paced than Elden Ring, but it's still a Souls-like per se, even though it's labeled an action RPG.
I definitely say
I mean?
it's definitely way more action RPG than Souls-like because you know what? I can't comment because I haven't played it. So I'm not even going to do that. So I'm not even gonna do. Yeah, no, I'm not even gonna do that. I'm not even gonna do that. I can only base it off of what I see, and everything seems fast action. So like you have Liza P, which is supposedly supposed to be the same thing. It is a Souls-like game, but that I got to play very, 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 very little, very, very little.
It felt like a Souls-like to you.
I mean, it was definitely faster. It wasn't just like, Bloodborne. You know what I mean? It wasn't where I'm throwing a move and he's like swinging. You know what I mean? Like it's not like that. And that's why I don't get into Bloodborne games. It's just it's not from it's not that it's too hard. All right. That's not a thing. It's not, the word's not too hard. It's hard because I don't play it enough and because of the movement. That's what makes it hard because I can't sit here and button mash to get my moves out. That's what makes it hard. So, because I can't button mash in those type of games, and not that I just sit here and push buttons, it's just the delay is way too much for me. With someone that has ADHD and all the problems just being able to focus on one thing as it is, it's a huge thing. It's a huge thing. So I don't want that. But I'll play them. And depending on, because there is something about it that I do like. And so that's what keeps me coming back. But for somebody like you, I don't blame you for not wanting to play it. And that, again, doesn't make a game bad. It just makes it where it's not your taste. Now, you have the game that they showed, the very first game, which again, what was it again? Not Mortal Instruments. I'm thinking
Mortal Shell 2?
Yeah, Mortal Shell 2. Now I never got to play one. I'm familiar with one, but I never got to play one. Oh, there's your camera.
Randomly.
And there it goes. Oh, and then now it's switched. it's just like playing with you, man.
I don't.
So with that being said,
I give it though.
That first game could be your style. That Mortal Shell 2 could be your type of style game. You never know. You know what I mean? You never know. Because maybe that is that fast action.
Mortal Shell 2 looks good.
All right. Is there anything else? So let's say this. Overall, right? We've already established it was game after game after game. That doesn't really mean anything. So just speaking on this presentation, the opening presentation of Summer Game Fest, because technically Summer Game Fest is still, I said it yesterday with Sesame Sheep, Summer Game Fest is still technically going on. Even though they're not calling it Summer Game Fest, the Summer Game Fest is like a week-long event, just like, E3 was. The only difference was, if it wasn't at E3, some people like to try to not call it E3, but it was an E3 festivity. So Summer Game Fest is a festivity. That's why they call it fest. But when we say open presentation, it was the Jeff Keighley on stage presenting the games. That is specifically what we're talking about right now. How would you say overall a feel was for the Summer Game Fest? And if you want to throw a rating on it, we can. You just let me know how you want to throw a rating. If you want to do number, letter, I don't care.
I wouldn't do a rating, but I will say that I think that the pace of it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know how I am. I do two different sides. I do as a gamer in general how good it was, and then how I feel personally. As a gamer, you should be excited about 2026. for how much stuff is coming out. 2026 is it's bad. Like as far as the game of 2026 is hefty. For me, um, there was maybe 3 games that really got my attention, that I watched, and they showed probably what you say, Van, like 60 games, if not more than that.
It was a pretty big. I have 15 games pulled up right now. I did about 15 games on Tuesday, and there's still like 15, 20 more games left. Like there's a lot.
I would say that three were impressive to me. Um, that made me say I can't wait till next year to play. I was already excited about next year because I know a lot of games coming out, but for what I seen for the presentation, 3 of them are catching my attention. Other than that, the rest are just I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't have hype behind them. I didn't see enough of them, and you know how we all feel about cinematic trailers.
Hmm.
A lot of beautiful cinematics, but like you said, I'm excited for Code Vein 2. I'm excited for. I think Mortal Shell 2 can be really good.
Code Vein
I
looks
can't
really
remember
good.
what the other one was, but I had another one that I really was excited for. But I have to see. Maybe when you do the list, we go over them out. It will remind me. But I know
Yep.
there was 3 that I really really liked.
For me overall, I would give it a fantastic rating. Um, Something that I brought up yesterday with Kelsey that I was waiting to bring up with you because this is the more serious, in-depth industry talk we always have gotten into, and we break it down um, pretty minuscule. Like we get
Mhm.
down to the nitty-gritty with it. And one of the big things I want to talk about is it's a fantastic thing because I heard some people bitching about, oh man, most of the games are all coming out in 2026. Do you understand how rare that was to hear an announcement that a game was coming out next year? Usually, when the
Yeah,
game comes out,
facts,
usually when
facts.
we see the presentation, a year was short. Like when we seen a year, we are like, yes, it's coming out in 2026. Now we're on the is it a flash drop? Is it a flash drop? And if it's not a
Yep,
flash
yep.
drop, we're disappointed. And it's just like that's not how the industry works. Like these games
Nah.
gotta be able to promote. So it that really I feel unfortunately kind of hurt these type of things because now that's what we're looking for. We're looking for this year. We're looking for a drop today. Like, and it sucks when we don't. But people like us, we're just like, wow, it's dropped today. Mind blown. You know what I mean? But we're
2025.
yeah, but we're also like 2026. Whoa, mind blown. Like that's how we are because that's what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
For them to have as many titles as they did and all of them pretty much dropping in 2026, that is fucking impressive. That is impressive. That is these
I
games.
can agree to that. I
That
can
is
agree to
these
that.
games being like, we're ready. And it is the time. It is the time because last year was not the time. Last year was
Yeah,
a pretty slow year. I'm not saying that no good games came out because that's not true. It's just it was a slow year.
yeah.
This year is not the case. This year is a pretty packed year. It's Game of the Year nominees is going to be extremely tough this year.
This
Extremely
is
tough this year.
Van 20. I agree with and this is why I love our conversations because it makes you think more.
Mhm.
You know, as far as the line of release days, it is true. We cannot stand when they just say coming soon,
Mhm.
or the fact that all those games did say 2026, whether they get delayed or not. The fact that they said 2026 is a big thing because I'm used to, and you're used to, and Kyle's used to 2028 at this point. Back in the
Right.
day, these games would have been 2028. And you know what I do like too? People forgetting this year is a crazy good year for gaming. Like this year has a lot of heat. GTA gets pushed to next year, and everyone's like, "Hey, we'll push next year." Think about how many games and developers have openly admitted because GTA 6 was coming out,
Hmm.
they weren't going to push their game near that time. Now they can do that for the rest of this year.
Yep.
There's so much heat coming out this year, and then next year just looks like it can possibly be better or as good as this year.
I
That
mean,
is that is
we
crazy.
got Grand Theft Auto coming out next year. My boy Kyle
Yeah.
is cannot wait for that game to come out. He is so amped. I'm pretty sure he pre-ordered it twice. So, but I mean, like the calendar is packed. So like this is an exciting time. We have a new console this year. And so now we're gonna get hype new fucking things for that console that's proving that this console can handle the games because it's playing the Pokemon game that it couldn't fucking handle. You know what I mean? The console that it came out for couldn't handle it. And now the first thing everyone's saying is go play it now. Go play it now. They're like, it is such a different game. They're like, they were showing videos. Like, that was the first game everyone was fucking talking about was Pokemon. No one was talking about Mario Kart. It went straight to
like,
fucking.
It's playable. It was like, it's playable?
Yeah. Yeah. But think about it too, right? Broken, they were already saying, people were saying that was the best Pokemon game that was out. So for them to, come back out with that's
Yep.
and to rebuild the hype, that's fantastic. Like that's fantastic. So, but all right, let's move on. Because we do have a lot of stuff to kind of pull up here. So so I went through and I have the games in order for how they were showed. So it's great. Oh nope, we can't have audio. Sorry guys, we got to cut all the audio. I just got to remember to do that. Yeah, because I don't want to get muted. So, all right. So I'm gonna play this one. So this first game is called Killer In, and this was a world premiere. So it was I want to say the full name was it's a big long name. But they keep doing it short on what I'm reading. Yep. So
yeah, playing this.
Yeah. So hold on, let me. Oh yeah, yep. So there's somebody that was the killer, and everyone's got to try to figure out who it is. But it looks like you can sabotage people and stuff. So this is almost kind of like Among Us. You know what I mean? But I'm not.
Among Us, Deceptive Inc.
Yeah. So I'm very interested in how this works. I always love like detective stuff. Especially in the games, because I feel like we haven't even still scratched the surface of what we can do with video games within, detective games. But even this, like, if this is what it's like this is too fast paced. Like, I want a game that I have to actually solve a crime. Like, I want it to be, we have a group of 10 people, one of the people are the killers. They choose how they want to kill somebody. They pick who they want to kill, whatever. And they write up this whole thing. And then the game starts and you have no idea who that killer is. Just do a super advanced Among Us. And I think the game would sell.
Vin, have you seen Murder Mystery? The game
that came out I have. Yep.
So when that game came out, me and my guys was playing it. It was super fun. But here's the issue with games like these, and you just said it the best. When you have a fast pace like that, you always got that idiot, especially if you're joining random lobbies, that's just gonna go around and just kill everybody. So, like, they got to limit what you can do. If you give, like, one person a gun with one bullet, one person a knife, then maybe it makes it more critical. And I think the way to balance murder mystery games like this, Van, is if you kill someone just to do it, right? Like, say you just start the match and it's only 30 seconds in and you're stabbing and shooting someone. I think if you get it wrong, you should get a penalty. Mm-hmm. So the next game you go to play, you have, like, your footsteps are louder.
Yeah.
Or it takes longer for your bullet to spawn. I think that's the only way to balance out games like this, bro, because it does ruin it. Like, murder mystery could be some of the best genre. In movies, it's already good.
Yep.
But if you did it in a game properly, it could be so good. But I already see it. Look how hectic it looks, Van. You know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
People are going to just pick up a gun and make it Call of Duty instead of making it an actual murder mystery. And I don't know.
So
I'm
interested to see what the details of the game is, because then if it's just like, hey, we're just going around just killing people, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do that. Like, but I'm willing to give this a shot, because is this doing this in a different way? You know what I mean? So yeah. I'm very curious. So that one definitely piqued my interest. This next
one, we'll be streaming this together, guys. Remember that.
Yes. This next one is Arc Raiders. I have been I signed up to beta test, alpha test this game a long time ago, and I've been getting so blown up by emails from this game that I assumed this game was already out, and apparently this is a world premiere trailer they even showed at this. So I'm thinking, no, this game has been talked about a million times, and it's just, no, I've been on the inside, so I've been getting a bunch of emails and stuff like that. So I'm just like, oh, okay, well, maybe it is a world premiere. This game seems to be pretty crazy. It is a shooter, looter shooter. I want to say it's a looter shooter.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it is.
But like the details in it and the graphics of the game and the world that you're in is super advanced. Like this is supposed to be a really advanced thing. It's really like a Star Wars meets cyberpunk world.
Yeah,
And that's the feel that I get from it. So like visually, I mean, like look at that. Like these games are getting cleaner and cleaner and smoother, and that's really what it's about. It's not so much just the graphics itself; it's how smooth of a transition they're making between their movements, and that's what we're noticing more. Like that's where things are getting really improved in games. So,
So, Van, do you think this is going to be your next Destiny?
um, I don't know because Destiny's
If
still
it's good,
our
if it's good,
Destiny
if it's
right now.
good, if it's good, right? So, from what I see in this, and you'll probably like this,
Uh-huh.
I get exactly what you just said as far as like that division. I mean, not division. Division is what I see in this
Yep,
game out
yep,
of space.
yep.
Division meets Destiny. I get that. My thing is, how full is the world? Because one thing about Destiny and Division is the worlds are full.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have constant things to do.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope this can do that. But I'm with you on it, man. I think it looks fire. I have been in the alpha things, and I'm like you, bro. It didn't seem like nothing new to me. And they
Yeah.
have shown trailers before, but I guess they're saying this is the world premiere because this is like the release date. This is the time slot. This isn't no behind the door stuff. It's
Mm-hmm.
like the official. So coming out October, that's a pretty good time to come out at a game. I think time really does matter, and I think October, people are, falls here. People are starting to get ready around the holidays, so
Mm-hmm.
it could be that cool game to play call. But we'll see, man. We'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah. And Destiny keeps making Destiny games, so as long as Destiny keeps making Destiny games, Destiny will be our next Destiny game. But we are trying to like it sucks because I tried so hard to get into Division, and it wasn't that I didn't like the game because it was quite the opposite. I loved the game. Originally,
Yeah,
what was my problem in the first one, and we've talked about it in the past, is I don't enjoy being a level 10 and being thrown in a game with the level 30. That doesn't make any fucking
absolutely not.
sense. And
It
that was
destroys the whole game.
driving me crazy. And that was a big flaw. Everyone was complaining about it. And then
Yep.
two dropped pretty early, I would say, in its life cycle. I think they dropped Division 2 maybe too early. Like they didn't give it enough time in space.
Yeah.
But it got me excited because then I was thinking if they're dropping it this early, then they fixed all the problems with it. And they apparently still had the same problem. So I never went and purchased it because I was just like, if it's got the same problem, I don't want to sit there and keep having that problem. But the game design, everything about the game was perfect. Perfect. I
New
love this.
DLC just came out for it, man.
Yep,
New
yep.
DLC just came out for it.
Yep, and I did hear about that, and that's why I was just like, oh, I might have to venture back into that world because a lot of people like it. So
It is
yeah,
great.
yeah.
It's
All right, so this next one, we're not gonna get anywhere close to all these because I still like only got 15 minutes before the raid, but
we can recap them a little
yeah,
faster
yeah, we
if
can
you
always
want.
go back through too. All right, so this next one is Dune Awakening. And it says world premiere trailer. Again, it's not a game that the trailer is the world premiere. Like it's a new trailer
Yeah,
for the game. But
yeah.
we've already been seeing the game for quite a bit.
It
And
looks
they
good. I'm
had
not
it
gonna
at
lie.
PAX. So but right now there's a lot of hype for this game. Dune, the story of Dune is a legendary story. Everyone loved the
Yep,
books.
yep.
The original movies were fantastic. The new movies were just as good, which is fantastic. The story behind it is just incredible in depth, and everyone seems to really fall in love with the story. And then they make it an open world. We all know
Yep.
how Van feels about open world sandboxes. It's too much for
Uh-huh.
me, but this game I'm interested in. As long as you give me a storyline, you give me a point for doing what I'm doing. Like I'm not pointlessly just climbing rocks because I can. Um, then that's
You're
great.
not playing what's that game called, Vin? Death Stranded.
Oh, yeah, just walking around endlessly.
Just
Um,
walking on the beach.
because if you're giving me a big desert like this and there's nothing to do, why the fuck am I doing it? Like that, it just
No, I'm
comes
with
down
you.
to
I'm
that.
with you on that, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
with you on that.
and I'm not, again, there's that type
It
of
looks
game for
good.
somebody, you
It
know?
looks good, but I'm with you on that. Like I don't have the time to walk 40 minutes to find an item and then bring it back for 40 minutes. I just don't
Yeah.
have the time.
Yeah.
So
So it's just
we'll see,
I
man.
want a lot of action. That's what I want. I want to be able to do a lot of things. I don't want my missions to be lost in transition where it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
I went halfway across the map for some silk and then I came back and dropped off the silk. Like those little missions like drive me nuts if there's no big
Absolutely, man.
reward to it. So, but the game looks amazing though. The game does look
It does.
amazing.
It does.
You can build in it, so it's a sim built into the game as well. Supposedly you
It's
can
an
build.
MMO, right, Van?
What is it?
It's an MMO, right?
MMORPG. Yep. Yep.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so that makes sense.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Well, we'll see how it is, man. I might try it.
Yeah. So it got my interest. I think as far as how it looks fantastic. Now it's just about, is this game for me? You know, and that's what it's going to come
Yeah.
down to. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, look at it. It just visually looks like really incredible. So,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Let's move on to the next one. So, this next one is Chrono Odyssey, which I actually kind of forgot about this one. I don't know what this one really.
Which one's this one? Yeah, I don't know. I see it. Oh, I remember that. I thought this was Tides of Annihilation. This looks good, Van. This is one of the ones I was excited for.
So
This looks really good.
again, what is going on with the three
So
man
it's a
teams?
3-player co-op.
Yeah,
It's a 3-player
but
co-op.
what's going on with the 3-man teams? Like,
Van, so can I tell you something? I just told my brother the other day. These co-ops, and I don't know why, because we have stronger engines and crap now. The 3-player co-op concept has to go. I think it's the worst thing. Like, how are we downgrading and how many people can be on a team? Like,
yeah,
bro, we should be rolling with 6 team members now in games.
I
It
feel like
pisses me off. Oh my God, I hate 3-player co-op.
it's been since Fortnite, and now it seems like, okay, well, every game we make, we got to make it 3, and I'm just kind of like,
Stupid.
why?
This looks good though, man.
Oh yeah, no, this
good.
looks fire. This looks fire. Now, this again has a very Dark Soul style. As far as the world that you're in, just a different style. It's not medieval. That's the only difference. It's more spacey than it is medieval. So that's, but like the enemies and stuff like that seem very Dark Soul-ish, except for the gameplay. So again, like, how do we consider
Oh, Van,
this?
is it exclusive, Van?
So I don't know, because when it popped up, it came out with PlayStation, and PlayStation don't like to advertise games with other games names on them. So that doesn't necessarily mean that it is,
Interesting.
yeah, exclusive. So,
Let me look it up real quick.
but that looks good. We'll go through this one real quick. This is just Nicktoons and the Dice of Dynasty world premiere trailer. I want to say it was just pretty much like a D&D game, but with like Nickelodeon characters.
Van, you ready for me to get you mad? A lot of people saying it's like Munchkin.
Oh, what, this?
Yeah.
No, because it's an action game.
People, I never played Munchkin. I just
Yeah,
don't know why
Munchkin's a
people
card
were
game.
saying- Yeah, I don't know why.
Unless
I
there's
guess
another
was
Munchkin. There could be another Munchkin. Not...
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just the SpongeBob. It's obvious what it is, so I don't think we need to go any further with that. Withering Waves. This I'm a little confused about.
Okay, so Withering Waves, you could I played it on my console already. Withering Waves, once again, the conversation of following suit. Ever since Genshin Impact, all these anime games that are coming out are just gacha games.
Is this a gacha game?
Combat, yeah. Like the quality's great, the action, the fight is good, but you gotta roll for characters, and you gotta. If you like that, then you're gonna love Wuthering Waves. Other than that, it just
sucks because like you look at the world and like the trailers, they do such a good job with the trailers, and the world looks good and the character design looks good. So when you see this stuff, you get excited, and then you get in there and you're just like, this is not what I thought it was going to be. And that's always a disappointment. I'll probably still give it a shot though. Now you say, is this already out?
Yeah, Wuthering Waves is out. It's free.
Yeah.
That's whenever a game's free nowadays, you can almost guarantee it's a gacha too. Unfortunately, that's the era we live in. If it's an anime type game.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna lie, the combat's good, Everything's good, Van, but so is Genshin Impact, and unfortunately,
Yeah, so it's already been
you
out.
got to pay for the
2.4 was
characters, bro.
released today. So they already have a different version, but 2.4 is
Yeah.
launching today. So
Yeah.
okay. All right, cool. All right.
Chrono Odyssey, Van, is on every console, by the way. So,
Um what did you say?
Chrono Odyssey is on every console.
Okay, all right. That's what I figured. It's PlayStation. That was an official PlayStation trailer. So, all right. So
Yeah.
this is God fucking damn it! I keep forgetting to mute it. This is Metroidvania like game, which is Mio Memories in Orbit. Play
Looks
as
like
an
Ori.
android Mio in this mesmerizing Metrovania where you explore the vessel in enormous techno, technological arc overgrowth with machines gone rogue. It's out later this year. We don't know when. So, oh, you can play the demo now. So, I mean,
Looks like Ori.
it looks good. Yeah, it looks like again, it's the castle. It's a Metroidvania style game.
Yeah.
And you know us, we love our Metroidvania
Mm-hmm.
style game. So the art
Mm-hmm.
looks good. It just looks different. It looks like unfinished art, kind of. So
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
pretty cool. This next one real quick is just the Legos. Legos
Okay.
Voyager. Which the Legos games, they're huge. People love the Lego games. So it's a two-player co-op adventure. This one's different.
This one's in.
It's weird. It's like
Oh,
you're just like an eyeball character, but then I guess like you can build and make your character bigger and stuff. I mean, the graphics for the game was pretty impressive.
the graphics are beautiful. The graphics
Yeah.
are beautiful.
It,
Van, maybe this is the game where you get like our woman to play games. Like whenever I see games like this, I'm like, maybe I can get Chanel to hop on with me, and maybe convince her to play an online game.
this
I mean,
one,
play a
this one, I don't know. I could see myself wanting to kill somebody that doesn't play video games enough. You know what I mean? Like I'd be sick of telling
build
somebody,
up.
yeah. It's like, what are you retarded? And we don't use that word here anymore. So yeah, that we'll go through that one real quick. So that was the Legos. This one, I'm not gonna go through the whole trailer because we've seen a million things of this already. This is Mafia: The Old Country. Got to see this live at PAX. The game's gonna be incredible. Like you're
Hold on,
into
Van, give me something real quick. Give me something real quick since you've seen it live.
yeah. So I mean,
I said,
go
go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead. I want to hear about this.
I mean, it's to me the same thing as the old original Mafia. And I think you're gonna get that same love for this game. So it's just in a newer. It's the game visually is incredible. The stuff you can do, they made it so real. The guns can jam. So you can be shooting and the gun can jam. So they treat the guns like they were at that time.
Oh, that's fire. That's fire.
Back in the day, Italians, a big thing was knives. And it was like a big signature thing for them. So it's just so funny. He just happened to be showing his knife. You can make a custom shank and you can build it up through history and stuff like that, and it becomes like your main thing. So which is incredible. The storyline, it's the
That's fire.
original. You know what I mean? This is a pre-story, so they're taking a lot of the characters and they didn't tell you all the characters are going to be in it, but they said there's one big surprise. So I wasn't into the original Mafia game, so I couldn't tell you
Yeah,
like
me either.
but I mean I followed along with them and I'm very well aware of the game. So but just visually what this game can provide, the gunfights were amazing, like nuts. That was a big thing that they were showing was the gunfight. So all in all, I think the game's going to be incredible. Like it's definitely a game that's worth
I,
trying to get into.
Van, I said it and people looked at me crazy in my chat. I said this is gonna be a Game of the Year nominee. I'm almost certain.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
gonna be.
I have no doubt in my mind that will be a Game of the Year nominee. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It looks beautiful, and I didn't know the information until you just said it. When you just said what you just said, I didn't even know about the knife thing. That's awesome. I love when games are unique like that. But let's keep going. I don't want to
Yeah.
stop.
This will be the last game, and then we'll start wrapping up our thoughts. So, this
Yeah.
is Out of Words. This is a top-down. This is a stop-motion co-op platformer where everything has been crafted by hand, from puppet master to programmers to poets. Out of Words hails from the mind of the acclaimed poet. Oh, I have no idea. I can't. There's like another language. Together they have carefully designed and crafted each stop motion character. So Me and Kelsey were talking a little bit yesterday about stop motion games, and the big thing about stop motion games that's hard is you're not just going through the path of the game, you also have to design the stop motion for outside of the path of the game because there's a lot of things that
Mm,
players are going to do that doesn't it's not a linear game. You can't make it a linear where this is all you can do. It's just games like
mm,
that don't work out. Even if you give them a flat level, that's not a linear game. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
just because it's flat, there's a lot of things you can do within that. So you have to make stop motion character for all those motions. So making a stop motion video game is 1,000 times harder than making a stop motion movie, and there's just so much
yeah.
more details that are involved. So I've always found it incredible. So I think this game just it looks incredible. Like it looks like it claps. And there's some big storytellers behind this as well too.
Mhm.
And they don't have a mouth.
I think it
Yes.
looks good.
Yeah.
I think it looks good. I mean, shout out to our boy. I can't think of his name right now, but the dude that's made It Takes Two,
Mm-hmm.
the dude that made Split Fiction, the dude that made A Way Out.
Mm-hmm.
He's mastered how to do co-op,
Mm-hmm.
and I hope people follow suit and do it unique. Like the thing I like about this is it doesn't look like the other co-ops that we like. It looks different. You know,
Mm-hmm.
new stop motion is pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to my dude from. I wish I knew his name because I feel like I'm disrespecting him, but.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
We all
but
love
yeah,
them.
the co-op concept is fire, and I think this looks good. We'll just see. Games like this always have a really deep, crazy story at the end. So let's see if they can like do the same thing that uh our boy from It Takes Two and all them did.
Yeah, and it's tough. Like nowadays it's great because they like co-op games are becoming so huge. And I love
Yeah,
seeing
yeah,
that. So like you're seeing a lot more of these two-player games. It's just like, hey, the whole thing is just you two going through the world. And I love stuff like that. So
yeah.
that's a pretty big deal. But all right, man, we got to wrap up, dude, because I got raid in a few minutes. So is there any last words that you want to do from what we've seen so far?
Nah, man, I think that I'm looking forward to something in the next month or so from Nintendo. I think they're gonna have to do a little direct or something. For anyone that didn't know, they did just do a big show for update a game that they're updating. I don't want to say it because I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't seen it, but there is a big updated game coming out for the Switch. They're updating it pretty big, and there's a expansion coming out to it. But I do want to see something from Nintendo. I hope PlayStation does something, even though they just did one,
Mm,
and Xbox. You know, that's a whole nother conversation. I thought that their showcase was actually really good. So, um, yeah. Other than that, Game Fest, it is what it is. I miss C3, man. That's all I
mhm.
can say.
Yeah, yeah. I loved Game Fest. I enjoyed it. And again, like I'm gonna get into a conversation with you and Kyle on stream and just talk about the differences between commercial gaming now and commercial gaming then. In the sense
Mhm.
of like how they advertise, how we market and stuff like that, because I'd love to dive in there in the difference between back then and now. I feel things are so much more powerful now, but it feels a little less passionate, and I just feel like that's only because of the amount of games that we're
Yeah,
getting. The amount of product we're getting is a lot, so that could be
yeah.
very very overwhelming. So, but Andre, you staying hang tight. All right, everyone. I'm gonna cut off this stream, and then I'm just gonna restart the stream because I'm gonna rename it and do my thing. So, but we'll be back on again in about 5 minutes or so. So we'll catch everyone later. Thank you, Andre, for joining. We'll see you again real soon since we already kind of somewhat got you set, and that we have an idea. So you'll get set up, early and have more time to get yourself set up. So,
Yes,
but
sir.
everything came out good towards the end, so you're good.
Yeah, yeah. It took long enough. I don't even know how my camera's still on right now, but we'll see. Yeah.
Well, all right, everyone. Thank you for joining. We'll see you guys in raid.